Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make a Facebook Live drop-down menu using React. So what we will be building is something like this. We have got this navigation bar at the top and some bunch of icons at the right, and if we hover over here then it got highlighted, you can see, and if we click over here we get this nice drop-down menu. So if you click it again, then it just hides it, and then it pops out this drop down menu. And if you click over animals, then you can see we get another menu over here. So we are gonna be building something like this using React. So let me just zoom out a bit so you can see clearly how this looks. So this is what we will be building using React, and let's just start deep diving into it. How we will be building this. So just to let you know, this project is actually inspired from this Fireship tutorial. Uh, uh, so by this channel Fireship. So advanced drop-down menu. So this I feel this video is a bit fast, and if you want to, but I will be explaining this concept a bit slow and step by step. So if you just want to go through the original steps by this guy, then you can just check this out. Okay, so let me just start building this. So let me pull up my terminal. So first we will be creating the React app using create React app, and we will be giving the name of the project. And after that, it will take some time, and then we will be going into that directory, and then we will be installing this React Transition group library for the animation part that I will explain later. And after you are done with these steps, just type code dot to open your code editor. Basically it will open Visual Studio Code, and if you want to open you work with any other code editor, you can do so. So I've already done a bunch of steps. So like I've opened this editor over here and installed the libraries and other things, and cleared the files that I will not be needing. So I will only be working with in the starting with these three files: index.js, app.js, and index.css. In index.js I have also cleared service work and other things. In app.js I have also cleared other things. So this is our project is gonna look like, and start. And you will also want to type npm start to run the server. So I've already done that. So and one more thing, I have this folder icon, and there are a bunch of svg files that we will be using. So you can basically check that on my github profile, and on git repository you can just download that from there. So I will be using this in my project, so you can free to use, or other icons that you want to use. Cool, so let's start building this. Okay, and so we will be starting in the app.js. So let me just give you a brief overview what how we are gonna be starting. So if you see first at the navigation bar at the top, we will be building the navigation bar, and with the icons at the right, and then the drop down menu. Okay, so we will be building this navigation bar first. So if you just remember from my last video, what we did to build the navigation bar was we built a UL tag, like we used a UL tag, and inside this UL tag we have a bunch of li tags. So each header, each icon, or each icon will be a li tag, and so that's how we will be uh, building this navigation bar. But it will be in different components. So earlier we just used in the HTML, we just build it in one HTML file with different tags, but in this React we will be using different components for this. So let's start. building this. So what we'll be doing is let me just rename this tip to nav bar. So I'll be creating one component nav bar. So that's why let me rename this. So import this, import nav bar from dot slash nav bar. So yeah, and I will be creating one folder components, and in this folder I will be creating all the components. And inside this component our first file will be nav.js. I think let me just rename it to navbar.js. Yeah, cool. So rfce and press tab. And inside this let me just change capital B to small. Okay, and save this and come over here. So yeah, uh, yeah, now it's coming. And inside the nav bar what we'll be doing is basically we will have one UL tag. So UL tag, and we'll be providing some props over here. So I'll tell you. So inside this UL tag, we'll be having props dot children, and let's name this div as nav. So inside this nav, let's name this as a class name navbar, and UL tag, let's name this class name navbar. Good. So so what I have done basically is I have initialized this navbar, and inside this navbar we'll be having like a bunch of li tags. So I don't know, let's say li tag icon equals something yellow, let's say, and just copy it bunch of times. Uh, let me name it yellow here. We could have actually have done this here as well, but I just wanted to, because we will be removing this, so I just want to show you here. So yeah, so this nav bar will look like this, and so inside this nav bar we will have bunch of li text. So it's better so so what we can do is basically inside this nav bar we can have nav item that will be dealing with the li text and all this icon and other things. So we will be creating another component. So folder file nav item dot js. So rfce and tab. So yeah, and inside this nav item.js what we'll be doing is basically we'll be having this li and li. We'll be having this li tag, and inside this li tag we will be using a tag for linking it to the other page. So for now we will not be linking it to another page on using hash to go to not send it anywhere. We'll be just using this, and class name, let's give it a class name of uh, icon button, and yeah, inside this we can do props dot. So before using prop uh, we have to initialize it here inside this nav item props. uh, so we will be getting it from this app.js. So basically instead of li, what we can do is basically nav item, and then we don't be using this YOLO over here. We can delete this, and let's make it like this. Yeah, so let me just copy this and paste it here. And nav item is actually not initially imported, so we need to import this. Import nav item from dot slash components slash nav. Cool. And inside this nav item, what's what I can it should work. Let me see. Icon button and what's what icon. Yeah, cool. We haven't saved that, that's why it was coming like this. As soon as we saved nav item, all the tags appeared. Let's also give this class name of nav item. Let's see it. Now let's move ahead to our index.css and style it a bit, so we can later on continue with the other tasks. So inside the root, I'm gonna be defining a bunch of variables. So like later on we can just reference it. So 2 4 2 4 2 5 2 6 and pg percent. So hashtag 4 8 4 8 4 3. So this is a bg color, background color basically, sort of blackish, and then accent will be a grayish, and then we will be having a text color that goes with that. So text color type TAD and then navigation bar size will be of 60 pixels, and border, we use border everywhere, so some pixel solid, and it's like 474K40, and border radius say 8 pixel and feet. Here's cool. So we have defined a bunch of variables over here that we can reference it again and again. And some other things that I will be defining here is UL tag. So let's say I don't want these links and everything. So let's remove this list style is none. And let's say this. So you can see all this dot are removed, and then also inside this remove the margin and padding inside the UL tag. So yeah, it's gonna look like this. Cool. So now let's first go with the navigation bar. Let's design our navigation bar. So dot navbar, the class was navbar, and let's give it a first background color of. We have already defined the variables, so we will be using this. Let's save it. So yeah, this will be our background color, and let's give it a height of where yeah, we have already defined this height here. Sorry, nav size 3 pixel. We are gonna be using that only, and then after that padding of 0 1. So at the top we don't have any padding, but at the left and right we be giving 1 rem padding, and then border bottom of where border. We'll save this. So if you just go ahead and look closely, this we got this 1 pixel border that we will be defined over here. So our page is gonna look something like this after this. Now let's inside this navbar we have this nav navbar nav class for all the UL tags. So we will be designing this. So dot navbar nav, and so inside this let's let's first display our content as flex, because we want this in a row. So you can see this all came in row, and then after that let's justify content as flex, and so this will move to the right basically at the end part, and let's give it a height of 100% and max width 100%. So this is our navbar nav. So now we will be dealing with this nav item over here. So what we can do is so you can see we have this so in this, if you see, we have this bunch of icons over here, and these are all in the center. So let's instead of this YOLO tags, let's put real icons over here, and so I'm just gonna copy paste a bunch of icons from here. So yeah, used a bunch of icons from here, and you can just directly use that from my GitHub repo link, and then let me just copy and Cool. So you are not gonna see this right now because SVG image don't show until we specify the size and everything else. So what we need to do is uh, so I think let's go a step back and let's leave it like this only. And first design our nav item. So nav item and let's give it a display of flex and align items center tool and justify content center tool. So you can actually see what's happening over here and also let's give it a bit of so I'm just calculating so our width will be of nav size that we have but a percentage of 80% basically. So what we have done is variable nav size. So this is 60 pixels, so the width will be of 80% of that. So if we save it, you can see you get this nice spacing over here. And now let's move on to the icon button. So yeah, what we are doing here is let's go uh, ahead and we are now we used our icon over here. Now let's go to index.css and so icon button, yeah, the class name is icon button. So let me just copy this. So dot icon button and you can now what we can do is uh, we can initialize one variable uh, button size that we didn't initialize over there. So, so we will be using it here only. So dot icon button we will be calculating it. So based on the nav size variable size and we gonna use 50% of that. So, yeah, dot icon button. Now we are gonna specify the width where file size. Let's specify the height as well. So our icons gonna look like this. So you can see as soon as we specified the width and height, our icons appear. Now let's give it a background color. So background color of hashtag. Cool. So you can see the background color appeared. Now let's give it make it circular. So border radius of 3%. Cool. Nice. And let's give it a padding of 5 pixel. Cool. Nice. So that's more like it. Now let's use what we can do is align items enter and justify content enter. So gonna not do anything right now. So what we gonna do is so if we use a display flex, now just observe what happens. You see all these icons just disappears. So to make that appear, what we are gonna do is basically we are just gonna copy this dot icon button svg and then we are gonna specify the width. Let's say width is 20 pixel and height of 20 pixel. Now all these starts appearing. Now let me also just change the text color. So fill text color. Cool. So yeah, I just missed the semicolon. So you can see the color just changed over here. So yeah, that also give this. It doesn't make much difference, but yeah, we applied everything over here. Now, yeah, one more thing. So transition, transition filter, and 300 mix. So it doesn't do much right now. So let's this filter is basically for the highlight. So dot icon button, and let's give it a highlighting hovering effect. So now filter, and now we are gonna use this brightness function. Let's dim. Let's brighten up a bit by 20%. So looks nice, right? Cool. So that's why I applied and 300. So if I change this to 1000, that's low. So we don't want that. Give it a 300 million and it's fine. Cool. So we have applied the hovering effect and also doing the width and everything. So now our this thing is in place. Now what we need to do is basically like this here. We need to have this drop down menu and the content inside the drop down menu. So first we will be building this drop down menu, and then we will be styling this, and then later on we will be dealing with this part, how to get this another menu. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So first thing, if you notice, we have this click. If you click on this, then this menu appears, and if you click on it again, then this menu disappears, right? So kind of like boolean value. So we need to have this state whenever it is open, then it's true, and the drop down appears, and if you click on it again, the value becomes false, and the menu disappears. So yeah. So what we can do is inside our nav item, we will be using one state. So we can use a state hook. So use a state, and now our hook is actually defined using let's name it open, and there is a function to change it. So set open, and initially define it as false boolean value. So in the starting it is false, and then if we click on it, so on click, what happens is basically we will in this toggle app.
Powering off.
Sorry guys for this.
Powering on.
Cool. I think we are back. So yeah, I was here. So now we will set open, and just we are gonna reverse that using this exclamation mark. So it's basically what it does is, as soon as we click on it, this false will become true, and if we click on it again, then false will become sorry, true will become false. So yeah, that's okay for now. And what we also want is so if it is true, so basically open. So if it is true, then only we want to show the children's for that. So I'll explain you. So in that open and props.children basically. So yeah, and inside this uh, app.js, so let's say inside this caret icon, we can have so inside this caret item we can have multiple items, like whatever we want to define this my profile setting and other things. So if you notice that in my profile we have this, so each of this menu inside this menu, and each of this item inside the menu, so let's call this drop down menu, and this one menu, and inside this let's call this each as drop down item. Okay, like here we have this navigation bar, and these each of these is the navigation item, nav bar item. So let's call this drop down item, each item, and inside this each item we will have a left icon and a main text, or whatever it is, and then right icon basically. So let's first build this drop down menus. Use we can directly write a bunch of tags over here, but instead let's move this to a different component. So we are gonna be just defining it as a drop down menu. So we have not created that, we will create that. So let's just import that. So use copy paste command. Okay, and we will be defining this component drop down menu.js. Cool. So cool, drop down menu, and inside this drop down menu, what we will have is so we'll have let's give this class name of drop down, and inside this let's give it another div tag of class of menu. I'll explain that later why we have this menu. So basically I can explain right now also. So basically we have this one menu, and if you click on this we have this another menu. So that's why we will create different menus based on that. So that's why we have this div class menu, and then inside this so we have this different bunch of drop down items. So let's create first a component. So drop down item dot full, and inside this drop down item what we will be having is basically a tag to link it to wherever we want. So yeah, a tag, and inside this a tag for now we will not be referring to anyway. So, yeah. And let's give it a class name of menu item. Good, and yeah, that's it for now. And inside this a tag we are gonna have this left icon, right icon. So let me just paste it over here. So let me just show you. So inside this drop down item, it's called props, and inside this a tag, this span is for the left icon, and this another span is for the right icon. So in case we don't have any right icon, this won't show, right? So that's how we are gonna be dealing with this. And so whenever inside this drop down menu, we will be calling a drop down item. So we will be calling it like this. So let me just copy it from here. So drop down item, and it's gonna specify this left icon, and then my profile. That's why inside this we use props.children, and props.left icon is the property that we are passing from the parent to the child. And then also we can have let's say a right icon. uh, yeah, so this, and inside this let's call it settings tool. And yeah, let's also copy paste this. Mm, and let's call it and this. So if you just go over here, yeah, drop down item is not different, so you need to define it. And these all are all bunch of item icons are also not defined, so let me just import it. So our app is gonna look something like this. Oh, something weird is happening. Did I forget anything? Okay, yeah, find out. So actually we were just we didn't save it drop down item. Now we have saved it. So you just click over here, and you can see like something weird happens. Like something weird is happening. All the stuff. I will explain you what's going on. So basically, what all these bold icon and all these items that we have uh, written down over here, then all these are coming over here. So as soon as we click over here, then it appears, and if we click over here again, then they start disappearing. So cool, that's what we wanted. Now let's style this a bit. So let's go to our index.css, and our icon button hvg, and then let's go to the you see if you go to the drop down menu, we have this drop down class. So let's style this. So first let me define the top as create pixel. If I save it, you can see let me just leave it open. Top 58 pixel, pixel, and let me just define the position as view 2. Now you can see all these things that we defined in the drop down menu, these all are coming. So drop down menu, this left icon, bolt icon is coming, my profile is coming, setting icon is coming, and then this chevron icon is also coming. So yeah, all these things that we defined were coming. Now cool. So let's give it first a background color of the underscore BG. So you can see this background color, and let me also transform translate by minus. translate x actually minus 40%. Actually, good. Yeah, that's that looks all right for now. And then we are gonna give it a border. So border underscore border. So this next border starts appearing, and then for border radius. And then let's also give it a padding. Cool. Overflow. Cool. And yeah, so our drop down is almost done. So let's see what we can do with this. So inside this drop down menu, and inside this we have this menu item. Okay, so we need to deal with the menu item, each menu item. So you can see first it's coming in column thing. So we need each menu item to come in row. Let's use so dot menu item, and then do it display flex, and just see what happens. So if you observed, like whenever we do this display flex, you can see this SVG icon sometimes just disappears. So what we can do, that's happening because in drop down item our icon button class is defined for all these left icon. So you can see this our icon button SVG is defined here, but icon right is not defined. So we need to just copy this and paste it over here, and put right of this, and just save it. So you can see uh, this is coming. And if you want to just move it to the right, so what we can do is dot icon, and change left. Okay. So it will automatically come to the right. Cool. So our drop down menu is gonna look okay for now. Like we need to just style this a bit. So first thing, I want to just remove this this blue color. So initially we didn't define this a tag, so we need to define this. So inside this a tag, what we can do is we can color where text color, and text decoration. No. You see, now let's just bring everything to the center and give it a padding and other things. So down, and so yeah, where were we in menu item? So let's give it a height of 3 pixel each menu item. Okay, and so online border radius, and for border radius. Good. So give it padding of version. Cool. And also let's give it a transition, and we will be in the back, minus speed. Cool. So after that, what we'll do is we will basically, we want to give it a padding between these two. So dot new item and dot icon button, and give it margin uh, right of 0.5 again. So yeah, now they are separated, and then also uh, dot menu, menu item, and so as soon as we hover over it, we want to change the background color. So background color hashtag 5 pixels. So, so that's why we have given this border radius and everything. So if you see, whenever we hover over it, we get this nice background color. Okay, so inside this, that's for now. I can write. I think we have not missed anything. Yeah. So yeah, now what we'll do is also one more thing. If you just observe, like we have this, we hover over it, we have this background color also highlights like over here. So we don't want that, so we can actually remove this. So how we can do this is dot menu item and dot uh, icon button hover. We apply and put the filter to none, then this will basically go. You can see now on hovering this doesn't brighten up as it does over here. Okay, yeah, that's all is covered. Now our menu is ready. Now what we want is basically, if we click on this part, then it brings another menu related to setting or related to animals, and for that we will be using css transition. So what we will do is, let's go to the drop down menu, and let's import our css transition from react transition group. So let me just copy from here. So we will be importing this. Now let me explain what this css transition does is. So let me go over here. So what css transition does is, it has this entry and exit state. So whenever we enters, if you observe, if we go to the setting or animal, so this left part, this whatever we are just clicking on it, this animals, it goes to the left and another menu comes from the right. Okay, so so if we click on this, then we want what will be the entry. We will define different entry state and exit state for each class. So I will explain. You will get this in a bit. So let me just show you how we can do that. So inside this drop down, we will have css transition, and our whole menu will come basically, cut it and paste over here. Yeah, so spacing cool. Okay, 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 nice. uh, Now inside css transition, we will define it like when we are so this in will be true or false. So so basically we are in settings menu or whatever animals menu, we need to check that based on that transition will work. So for that we will be using we have to define one state. So we'll be using use state hook, and to find out what will be the active menu, let to define the state for that. So const uh, menu, and then set active menu, and then define it use state. Let's say, let's call this as the main menu. So we have defined active menu has to be the main menu, and so inside this you will check if this active menu is equal to the main or not. If you are not getting this, just wait for it, you will get this in some time. So let me just write it down. So after that we'll use unmount on exit, and then timeout, how much time it takes for the transition, 500 millisecond, and we have this class names property. So instead of class name, just no, we have this extra as class names. Okay, so I will tell you what it is. So this will be, let's give it a class name on primary. Okay, I think our this part is done, and let me just copy paste this CSS transition again, because we want to have another menu. So let's name this as settings, and settings unmount on exit timeout menu. Let's give it a secondary, and inside this let's remove this and define other items. So let me just copy paste from here. Let me just full screen this. Okay, and okay, so just to note here, so what we are doing is we have to apply this CSS transition, and to hide this menu and bring another menu, we are using CSS transition. So now we have defined this active menu. This is our main menu, and inside this main menu, if we have this main menu, if it is true, active menu is equals to main menu, then these items will show, and these are basically my profile and setting animals and these all things. And if we click on this settings, now we want to change the state of our active menu to become settings, such that this will become false and this will become true. Okay, and all these drop down items will basically all these drop down items will appear. So we want so somehow we want to uh, to basically uh, like come back to this. So if we click on this, we want to come back from the setting menu to the main menu. So what we can do is we can define this go to menu variable, like go to menu, and let me just show you what it does. So I define this and menu slider, and yeah, and so let me define this menu slider function as well. So this is nothing but sets the active menu to the whatever variable we defined. So basically what we want is if we click on settings, then this active menu should become to settings. So that's why what we will do is inside this drop down item settings, we will also pass that go to menu setting and this menu slider function. Cool. So we have defined this go to menu slider, and we need to deal this within the drop down item. So it's coming along with the props. Now what we can do is whenever we click on this tab, uh, what it does is it changes the menu basically. So we don't need to do much here. And so if password go like if it's already there, then only we'll work on the next part. We will change the menu, otherwise it will not work. So pause. Menu slider, and we'll pass the label props to go to menu. Cool. So what happens is here is so inside this setting class, this drop down item, we have passed this property go to menu and menu slider function, and the menu slider function basically changes the active menu to settings, and it doesn't it does this in the, so we are passing this menu slider function from the parent component. Drop down menu parent is the parent component and passing it to the child component. Inside the child component, whenever we click on this this like settings, what it does is on click it changes. First it checks if we have this go to menu property or not. If it is not there, then like for this drop down menu, we don't have any, we are not passing drop down menu, so it will be false. So basically the next thing won't work. That's why we are doing this props dot go to. Yeah, so this props menu slider, we have changed it state, and now this what happens is if we click on settings, then this active menu will change to settings, and this will become false, and this property this css transition, this will become true. Now this will be rendered, and then inside this one item I have defined it to go to menu main. So basically what it does is to go back to the main menu, we click on this go back item, and then we'll be again going to this main menu. So this is what it is. So let's see how it looks like. Sorry, not over here. Menu slender is not looking. Okay, yeah, we just forgot to say this. Let's just see how. Cool. Let me just show you in full screen and zoom out a bit. Okay, yeah, settings, and you just see what happens. Let me just zoom out a bit. So you see what's happening if you click on settings. Then this other menu CSS transition, you see other menu settings menu is coming, and if you just click on the go back again, just go back, then our original menu is coming. But in between state changes, what happens is this remains for some time, for 500 millisecond actually, because we have not applied this animation to go from left to right and other things. So we will do that, and you will see how it appears. So let's just go directly to the index.css, and what's left is to define this menu primary enter. So inside this CSS transition, we have this menu primary and menu secondary. menu primary, menu secondary. We have this two different state. Basically, one is enter and one is exit. So menu primary, let's copy from here, and so when we are entering, and there is also this state of active. So menu enter active, and menu exit exit. So active is basically when that state is activated, that will work on that, and when it is entering, what will be the initial state. So let's define it like let me just copy from here, and when entering, position is absolute and transform translate x minus 110%, and and when it is active, it will remain here, and let's save it. So let's check how it works. So you see what's happening. So whenever our menu primary state is entering into the active mode, so basically when it enters, when we are going back, then our active, our main menu is gonna be activated. So that class name for that was menu primary. So when it is coming, it's coming from the left. Initial state was minus 110% and current is 0%. So what it will do is it will basically come from the left. So that's what I bring here. So you see, yeah, it's what happening. And now let me also define the exit state. So absolute, and when exit absolute, sorry, true. So now just observe what happens. True, yeah. So you see what's happening. If I click on settings, it also now going back. So when it is exiting at minus 110%. So initially it was at zero, where it is, and then translate to minus 110% wikis. That's what happening over here. But also we have to apply the same kind of effect in secondary menu. So let me just copy the whole part. Uh, so we have this interactive. Let me just copy this. So menu secondary enter. Menu secondary was for the second menu we had, where the setting is applied. So uh, let me just show you. So menu secondary, and inside this drop down menu, this menu secondary. Okay, in the settings. So whenever the menu secondary enters, it will translate from 110% to 0, basically come from the right. So if I save it and just show you what happening, you can see. So this settings is exiting, and this second menu settings menu is coming from the right to the left. So see this appearing like this, right? And also we have to define the exit. So let me just copy paste here. And if you just observe, entry and exit looks really nice, right? So this is the animation part. But if you observe, there is one caveat over here, that is as soon as we click on go back, the height just drops like just right there. So we don't want that. We want it to be like a bit slow, right? So we want it to be animated as well. So what we can do is we can have this another state, that is that calculates the menu height. So keep track of the menu height, mouse menu height, and set menu height, and use state Right. So after that, what we will do is we are going to define one function to calculate the height. So now cal- calculate height function, and it's gonna have one element, which is the arrow 60. So and inside this we are going to basically set new height to L dot of offset. So this will be our calculate height of function, and what we will be doing is in this CSS transition we have this property of on enter. So whenever we are entering this, we will be calculating the height. So here also we will be doing this, and the height will be calculated and adjusted. So yeah, if you just go ahead and save this, and now check. So again, if you see, like it's not happening very smoothly. Why is that? Because in index.css we have not defined the property for that. So let me just go inside this, and inside this drop down class, where is it? Drop down class, we have to define this transition, right? Where now let's check. Okay, not working again. So where did we make mistake? Hmm, I think let's go to the drop down menu again and check. The calculate height function is defined. Okay, yeah. So in this drop down menu, we forgot to style it. So we also need to style this here. So style this, and then height equals menu. We just save it and just check. See, now it's coming out right? So let's also do this same for the animals. So we have to define another CSS transition. So what we can do is let me just copy paste from here. I already defined it. So inside this active menu is animals, and this will appear. And inside this drop down item, we have to pass this go to menu animals and menu slider function. So this menu slider, and let's just set this. So animals working, settings is also working. Yeah, so all of this is working good. So you can see we can do this using React and React transition group. So that's it for the video, and if you guys like it, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.